3, so Wednesday's lesson. And today we are going to be looking at coordinates. So there is a PowerPoint presentation for this lesson if you'd like to have a look at that. I'm going to go through the learning reminders as normal. So coordinates. Today you're going to be looking at reading and plotting coordinates in the first quadrant, which means in a grid that looks like this. We've done this in school a couple of times. Also, Dino Dig is a game that we have played in class, which helps us to practice plotting and reading coordinates. So have a go at that. I will link it in the lesson. Let's just quickly remind ourselves about a coordinate grid. So first of all, the coordinate grid is made of two axes. We have the x-axis, which goes along the bottom, and we remember x-axis because an x makes a cross and we go across the bottom. We then have the y-axis, which is the vertical axis, and I remember y to the sky, we go up. So x across the bottom, y to the sky, we go up. Then we label, in numbers usually, can be letters, each of our x and our y axes. To do this properly, we do make sure that our numbers go on the lines. Okay, they don't go in the space in the squares, they go directly on the lines. And we always start with 0. Okay, that's really, really important. So both the x and the y 0 is in the same point here. So we're going to be looking at plotting coordinates to make shapes, to make polygons today. Let's have a look. So we've got 2 points that have already been marked. We have the first point here, we have the second point here. Let's have a look at this one first of all. So each plotted point has coordinates, and that is how we work out where the point is. Now, to work out the coordinates of a shape, we always, if you remember, put coordinates in brackets and then they are separated by a comma. And it's the numbers on the x and the y axes that help us to find out where that particular coordinate is. So for this point here, this coordinate, we go along the x axis first. We always go along the bottom first. I think of it like if you come into school, into Notre Dame, from the playground where mums and dads drop off in the car park, you have to go along the corridor before you can go up the stairs to prep for. So you must always think of this as a corridor. You must always go across the bottom along the x-axis before you can go up to the stairs. So we go along the x-axis and we see at which point our coordinate is at. And this is in line with the number 2. That's our first number for our coordinates. So it's going to be 2. Then we go up the stairs and we see how many. So we can either count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can see what it's in line with. So our coordinate for this point would be 2, 5. Can you have a think about what this is quite tricky because this is in the way, what the coordinate would be for this point? So we go along the corridor first. Well done if you said 6. And then we go up the stairs. Now it's blocked out, but you can count, and you know that's just 1 square up. So the coordinate would be 6, 1. On the next slide, and if you're going through the PowerPoint, this will make a little bit more sense. It's asking you to use these 2 points to create a square. So you might have a couple of options for this. This is the first option. So you were given this point and this point with these coordinates. You could have plotted these 2 coordinates, which have the coordinate of 2, 1, so 1, 2 across, 1 up, and 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. There is another solution, which is on the next page. So again, given these coordinates, this is one way of making a square. There's another way using these 2. Can you think what it is? Well done if you imagined the shape like this different orientation, with the coordinates here and here. Okay, let's have a look at this coordinate first. Do you think you can tell me what the coordinate for this point would be? Okay, let's go across the bottom first. Along the x-axis, well done if you said 6. and then up the stairs, 9. Well done. If you said 6, 9. What would this one be? I'll give you a couple of seconds to have a think. So go along the x-axis first, 10, and then up the stairs, up the y-axis, 5. Well done if you said 10, 5. So your task for today, first of all, if you're going to have a go at the mild sheet, you can have a go at both of them as they're slightly different, is you are given coordinates for each grid that you need to plot. Now, if you can't print out the sheets, don't worry, because you have squares in your math exercise books and you can copy out these bits. You don't need to draw the squares because you've already got those in your books. So it would only be a case of drawing the y, the x-axis, and then labelling the numbers, remember, on your lines very neatly. So plot the points in the grid, join them up, and then write the name of the shape. So you've got your 4 points. You can either choose to do small dots or teeny crosses, join them up with a ruler, write the name of the shape. Okay, challenge. 3 corners of a square are located with these points. Where is the 4th corner? What is the 4th coordinate going to be? If you're having a go at the hot sheet, it's asking you to plot the points on the grids, join them up, and then find the missing point to make the shape. So you're only given 3 corners of the square, 3 for the rectangle. You need to then plot the next one. Okay, right angled triangle and an isosceles triangle. So you'll have to remind yourself of these 2 things. Here's a clue: isosceles. Oh, we have 2 eyes. Can you remember? What are the properties of an isosceles triangle? It's going to be important for this. Okay, you've got your answers, so you can self-mark. If you're finding it stuck, there's a challenge for you to go through with an adult, and then finally with some other coordinates grids, there's some check your understanding questions with the answers for you to have a look at as well. Good luck.